Carton. Big, long, lengthy clearance. But again, it's hit towards David Collins' wing. This time, Harry Keogh gets in there, gets busy, gets him on Galway, and he's playing a major role there, coming in support of his half-forwards. Winning a free. It'll be taken by Diarmuid Ling.
Michael Jacob has come back out to the half line now. Peter Atkinson has gone in, and he's giving a little bit more power out in the half line for Wexford.
But Gizzy has another one, and this one just drifts away wide of the target. So they're missing chances now, Wexford. They can't afford to do that.
Well, that was a poor wager because they needed that, and he had been excellent from the other side of the wing, and that free there just seemed a lot easier than the other ones.
Darren Stamp is under him. What a catch. We're seeing some brilliant catching here by the likes of Darren Stamp. We saw Diarmuid Ling earlier on. Collins, of course, as well. Here's Collins again. And again, a disappointing finish. Far too many opportunities have been spurned. Galway with 10 wides, Wexford with 6. 16 missed opportunities so far.
Well, when you look at the possession that Galway have had, and they had 10 wides and some of them were very poor, you'd be expecting with the likes of Joe Canning, Aidan Hart and Joe Ganty inside for Galway to work it in a little bit faster, maybe lower down. They seem to be just hitting the ball in high, hoping that Joe will catch one or two, but you know, if you do the same thing all the time, you make it easy for defenders.
Well, Damien Hayes, as you said earlier, is now operating on the 40, sometimes drifting into midfield, where Sherlock Nairn played him as well at one stage. There was some holding, and it's against Galway, and the free is going to be to Wexford. Disappointed Tony O'Gregan from Rahoon, Newcastle, walking back towards his goal, and Diarmuid Ling composes himself once again, just 45 metres out from the target on this big weekend for Championship hurling, with Cork against Tipperary to come live on the Sunday game tomorrow afternoon. It starts here at Nolan Park, and that's over the bar from Diarmuid Ling. A 5th point of the match for Ling. 4 of the 5 have come from frees. 2 points the margin. This puck out heading towards left half forward. Again, Darren Stamp nonchalantly comes across, almost like a sweeper there on the half-back line. Damien Joyce is trying to get in and get among the players this time to get possession. I think the referee's going to throw it up, deciding not to let it develop. Quick word over his shoulder there with Johnny Ryan from Tipperary, one of his linesmen. And again near the sideline, but David Burke manages to get it as far as Andy Smith. Fresh air puck. Back on his feet once again was Ger Farragher, needing Smith, and Smith way down. Taken beautifully here by David Redmond, blocked down well. Comes again here towards Lar Prendergast. Lar Prendergast operating at right corner back this afternoon. And there's going to be 1 minute of additional time played at the end of the opening 35. Well, the catching has been superb. It's something we've certainly admired in the game so far. Darren Stamp, the highly adaptable player at centre back this afternoon or this evening, he's been brilliant. Ger Farragher cutting it up, sending it in like a jet. The goalkeeper dealt with it, but Canning has it, lays it off here. Oh. It rattles the post, and Damien Hayes puts it over the bar. First point of the match. It was a poor Domna combination there once the ball came flying in from Ger Farragher.
Well, you would have thought that Joe Canning might have gone across the square himself, Ger, and maybe taken on, but flipped it off to Damien Hayes, and he took an easy point.
It's back in the centre again here, and it's Cyril Donnellan on a ground where he got 4 points against Kilkenny in the league in the first half. Pressure on, Kieran Kenny in difficulty. Out comes Joe Canning once again. Looking around, spotting another man in a green helmet, that's David Burke, and David Burke rues his luck immediately. Just threw his head and looked away with disappointment.
Well, Jerry, you get nights like this where nothing will go over, and you know, big tally of wides, 10 or 11 now for Galway, and it wasn't that they were shooting them under pressure either, and you know, they'll be concerned about that.
So 3 points between the teams. As anticipated, Galway are leading. Wexford still fighting but chasing and looking for possession right now, and it's Darren Stamp who was caught as he kicked that ball away, and caught there by Andy Smith, and the referee is going to have words with Galway's number 12 for that. He's already taken one yellow card, given one yellow card, the name of David Redmond on the Wexford team, and now it's Andy Smith in hot water, shown a yellow card. He's got to be careful. So free to Wexford. Oh, the referee is after calling for the ball, but well, that's a bit confusing. Ball eventually thrown back. It is going to be a Wexford free.
Well, I'm surprised at that, Jerry, because I think the rule is if the free happened, and you know, it should have been taken from where the ball ended up.
Oh, it's ended up now with David Burke, and more particularly with Ger Farragher, his midfield partner. Joe Canning trying to keep it in. Very dangerous one. Just a little prod needed, and he could have hooked it in over the goalkeeper, had come out for it. And Keith Rossiter with a bemused look on his face. Referee has blown his whistle, and it's going to be a free. And a dangerous situation this for Wexford if Joe Canning decided to go for it and go for a goal in stoppage time at the end of the first half. We were supposed to have had 1 minute of injury time. As you can see, we've had over 2 so far. So a free from the 20-metre line. They know what to expect. What do you think? Will he just tap it over?
Well, at this stage of the game, Gerard, I mean, the thing is, you know, you're 3 points up. I think he'd have a cut.
You know what the crowd are asking for? They want to see him go for it. In the past, he scored 7 championship goals. He's standing over it with a fair amount of determination, and the referee is telling the players on the line, don't move. Wait until the ball is struck. New rule. It's struck now, and it's in the back of the net. Joe Canning strikes decisively just before half-time.
Well, Noel Carter made a great effort here to block it, but it just went into the net just inside Keith Rossiter, and Joe will be very pleased with that. Galway needed that because they lacked composure in the first half.
Well, they've got plenty of reason now to feel composed on their way to the dressing rooms, because that goal by Joe Canning has certainly set them up. They're still talking about it there. Canning and Keith Rossiter, his marker. What a strike right at the end. What a boost for Galway. What a blow for Wexford, who trail at the break by a goal and 9 points to 6 points. Michael.
Chair and Donald, thank you very much indeed for the moment. Back here in studio, Declan Ruth and Pete Finnerty are with me. Declan, from a Wexford point of view, you played very well in that first half. No question, well up for this championship challenge. And look, 1-9 to 6 points down.
Yeah, I suppose some of the old failings, I mean, you can't question the commitment and the heart of the Wexford team there today. They were from the start, they looked far more committed even than Galway, but the old failings of poor distribution into the forwards. In fairness, the forwards are not actually challenging in the half-forward line enough. I think Dermot Lynn caught one ball cleanly, and David Collins and Antonio O'Regan have caught ball after ball. So that's something that's going to have to be addressed. And obviously the frees that they've given away, like when they were on top, they give Galway silly frees all over the place where they had to earn their score. Instead, Ger Farragher is lethal from frees. And even if he was having an off day, you have Joe Canning. So you know going out, you can't give him away. But they give away far too many frees and some silly wides as well at the other end. So it could have been a very, very promising first half, but now that goal is putting a big dampener for them.
A lot of poor wides, I suppose, on both sides, in fairness. Pete Finnerty, looking at it from a Galway point of view, it's kind of hard to know what to make of that, in the sense that, you know, if you were 6 points up in any match, you'd be happy enough, and yet it's unsatisfactory.
Well, they're flattered to be 6 points up now, as Declan rightly highlighted. Wexford kept Galway in the game with simple frees there, we'll say, midway through the first half. At a time when their half-back line was dominating and really had the caution on Galway. Joe Canning had only scored a point. Damien Hales wasn't in the game. Cyril Dolan was marked completely out of it. But instead, they continued to give silly frees away. Wexford half-forward line isn't working hard enough, and Galway's half-back line has been dominant. Yeah. And Collins has caught some great balls, as Tony Og, and it's really, that's where Wexford are losing the game at the moment. But Galway are flattered to be so far ahead.
All right, lads, thanks for that. We have a commercial break coming up right now here on the programme. More from the panel straight after that.